Clippers versus Suns. We said last week that this was the series to watch for, not just in the West, but the entire playoffs. Now everybody's like, they don't got Paul George, they don't got a chance. Of course they have a chance. And I said it on last show. I'm not going to go into the whole history spiel like I did last show when it comes to Kawhi Leonard and who this man is as a player. We just gonna say he's him. He's that dude. He impacts the game both sides of the floor. Definitely made it tough for KD, although you can't nobody shuts down KD. He still gets his off. Storyline, even though Kawhi did his thing and was able to really win them this game, our guy, Russell Westbrook, we have been on this show and we have been saying it for years. Y'all want to talk about his shooting? He's not a shooter. Well, we said this year, especially with the Clippers, still not a shooter, but he's having a career year from three. Again, not a crazy deal, but for Russ, it's a big deal. You got to pay attention to him on the arc now. He shot 3 for 19 last night. And you know what? Nobody cares. You know why? Because he still won that game because like he's been saying and like we've been saying, he impacts the game in different ways, especially when his shot is not falling. Mike, you said it earlier. The Clippers, a couple years back, they had the wings, but they didn't have the point guard. This year, same exact problem. Needed a point guard, needed a floor general. They traded for Russell Westbrook, and while a bunch of people in the media was poo-pooing about it, I said this is the best move that they could make because he is exactly what you need on this team. And that's why I picked them to win this series and why I said they could win a championship. Bro, assists, blocking, rebounding. He was doing an amazing job on KD when you were throwing him on there. Mm-hmm. And then he pretty much made the game-winning play. Mm-hmm. Come on, man. You couldn't ask for anything more. I think that the Suns will win game 2. But I'm not deviating from my pick. I think it's still gonna go 7, and I'm taking the Clippers. I'm taking the Clippers.
Man, look, y'all know how. Look, in the little chat that we got going on Twitter, what did I tell y'all after their trade with Russell Westbrook? And y'all, it's probably not going to happen. But if the Clippers make it to the NBA Finals, Russell Westbrook is winning the NBA Finals MVP. And I'm sticking to that. Like, everybody wanted to crap on this man, and I'm just thinking, why? Like, look, who was it that said it was either somebody on the Lakers coaching staff or a player? May have been Anthony Davis. I can't remember who it was, but they said that we tried to make Russ a shooter. You can't do that. That's why he stunk in that offense. They tried to make him 3-and-D. Come on, why?
That and who was he playing with?
Thank you. And I mean, look, his stat line, you said it, 9 points, 3 and 19, didn't do anything, too crazy offensively. Did have 11 boards, 8 assists. Okay, cool. He damn near had a triple-double, and he shot 3 of 19. The pace in which he plays the game is what always makes him a threat. I'm sorry, but if you got a guy coming at you 100 miles an hour, whether he's out of control or not, he's going to make some decisions or whatever. You're talking about a basketball player that's been there, done that. Former MVP, could walking triple-double in his sleep. I'm sorry, but I do think that they're going to need Paul George to win this series. I hope I'm wrong. I hate when injuries happen, man. I hate when injuries happen. That being said, I won't be surprised to see them win the series without Paul George, okay? Because of Russ's attitude, because of Kawhi, and because you got a coach that's been there, done that too. They got a smart coach on that bench. That dude, that man, Mr. Let Iverson step over me after a crossover. You got to give him. He makes adjustments, and I like him, but.
I think that's what's gonna win them. I think that's what could win them it too. I think that he's gonna continue to coach circles, and I love Monty. I think Monty's a great coach too.
Yes, he is.
But Ty Lue is just a notch above him.
Mm-hmm. I got you, but this is an exciting series. I don't know. This is one of those series that I couldn't pick one. Like, I didn't know who to pick because it could go out. It could literally go either way. I wouldn't be surprised to see Clips winning in 7, Suns winning in 7, or either of those teams winning in 6. But yeah, that's how I feel about the series. I think Russ is a factor. He's going to be a problem.
Yeah, man, I agree with a lot of things that you guys just said, man. This is a conference final series in the first round, man. Mm-hmm. You think you can see both of these teams in the conference finals? Man, it's tough, man. Shout out to Russ, man. After all he's been through, you guys know how big of a Russ fan I've been, man. That block in tip back to knock it off of Booker was a big play. Obviously, you think about someone that shoots 3 for 19 and doesn't have maybe the greatest game. He hasn't had the greatest games in the playoffs where teams kind of zone in on him and let him shoot and things like that. But to stay focused and stay locked in and stay just with the process, man, that is real tough, man. So I think I seen a lot of people tweet like that's the greatest 3 for 19 performance they've ever seen. And like, I gotta agree, man. Like that block and tip back on Booker, man. Booker is a great player. That's not a slight block, man.
You don't just
that's,
do that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You don't just do that and then tip it back off of him, man. That's great, man. So shout out to Russ, man. Well deserved, man. I think the Suns, to get on their side of things, man, they're looking old, man. D-Book is looking, obviously, he's young. Ayton's looking young, but Chris Paul, obviously, campaigned, didn't play last night, I think. Chris Paul's looking, his age is really, really showing, and I think it showed in the last 2 playoffs. Man, I've seen KD play since he was like 19 years old, man. He had 25 and 11 and 9 last night, man. He's KD. He's gonna be KD, but he's looking a little old, man. That step is not as quick as it used to be, man. So I think the Suns are looking a little old. The Clippers are Westbrook, even though he's getting up there in age, he still has the energy. He's looking younger than Chris Paul. Just to call it what it is. So I think, and then you got Norman Powell coming off the bench. You got Bones Highland coming off the bench. Those guys are coming in with a lot of energy. The Suns didn't play their bench a lot last night, man. T. Ross only had like 6 minutes. I think, I forgot what the guy's name is, man. He had like 26 minutes, and he hasn't played all season.
Shamit.
No, Shamit did have 26 minutes. It is Shamit. It's not the other guy who came in for Bismack Biyombo. He had like 15 minutes. He hasn't played like all season, man. Shamit was the one who had the most minutes off the bench. Yeah. But the other guy, he hasn't really played all season, and he got like 15 minutes. So I was looking at the box score after the game. That Suns bench is not looking great, man. Even T. Ross only had 6 minutes. And then I look at the Clippers bench, man. There's some young guys, Terrence Mann, Norman Powell. Those guys are coming in, picking up full court. Them guys are coming in, playing hard and things like that. Like I said, KD's going to be KD. He had his 16 and something tonight. But it's going to be Ayton. It's going to be D-Book. Those guys, those young guys are going to have to get them through this series. And, man, shout out to Kawhi, man. 38 last night, man. Coming off the injury. He missed last year's playoffs. And I seen a tweet where it's like Kawhi looked KD and D-Book in that fourth quarter in the face and said, "Man, I'm still him." And that sums up that fourth quarter, man. He came out 38, 2 big threes. Shout out to Russ too, getting those 2 big offensive rebounds and get those to Kawhi for threes. But Kawhi looked those guys in the face and said, "Man, he is who we thought he was when he was with the Spurs. He is who we thought he was with the Clippers." I still think the Suns have a great chance, a good chance. I wouldn't say great chance. I think the Suns aren't out. That's what I want to say. I think the Suns aren't out. Of course. But, man, Kawhi, that's a tough guy, man. That's even around this time, man. That's a tough guy.
I mean, what did everybody say after they made the trade? Everybody was worried about their bench. Everybody was worried. Their bench was gutted. Everybody was worried about their bench.
Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges. You gotta have depth in this league, and that's one of the other reasons why I looked at it with the Monty Williams can't go to his bench. He doesn't have the options to do that. They're just gonna attack it all day. If you look on the sidelines with Ty Lue, if he sees Monty going to his bench, he's salivating over it. He's ready to go. He's got a game plan in action. They can't. The Clippers are the deepest team in the league. The 2 things that win championships: defense, number 1, depth. You got to have depth. We can't get stuck on all this star power and things like that. I mean, people want to go, look at the Miami Heat. They got rid of all these guys to put that big 3 together. No. They looked at all the options on the table that were there, and they were able to bring in depth on minimum contracts. That's my biggest thing with this series. I don't think coaching, I think the Clippers got it. I made my whole spiel about Kawhi last week because you had to bring up the Spurs-Warriors conference finals when he went out because look what I hate when people bring up the Toronto title and they say, oh, if KD and them didn't get hurt, Toronto would have been fine. I think Kawhi is that dude, bro. Kawhi is that dude, and I think that my number one. I love Russ, and I think he's going to contribute. But my whole thing with picking the Clippers, that man right there.
There's another side to the Clippers. I'm sorry, the Suns and their lack of depth. What they do have is a lot of experience, right? And you need that to win a championship because ain't no young team. Name me the last young team. Talk about young team, 100%. They won a championship. I'll wait. You know, so they got you do need experience. They got that, but they just gonna have to play a lot of minutes. Look, KD played 45 minutes. He had 45 minutes. Craig 27, 8 and 33, Paul 39, Book 43. And that's just, you look at their bench, and yeah, you had Shemby with 24, but everybody else didn't even get 10. So I think that's the tall tale right now, and I think that's gonna be that might do it, and let Russ have I don't want to say good game because he didn't have a bad game, but let him have a good offensive showing. This ain't gonna be no 115, 110 game like it was in game one, you know. And then like you said, they interchangeable parts for me in the playoffs. You said it, yeah, those two things. Depth, interchangeable. I'm sorry, and defense. But for me, it's always been three things up until recently. Defense wins championships. You got to score in the half court in the playoffs. Okay, you got to score in the half court. You got to rebound, and you got to have interchangeable parts. The Suns don't have that. The Clips do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
man, definitely. Like I said, the Suns. What I seen from last night, man, they're looking a little old in certain positions, man. But
Yeah.
I think this series rides on D Book, man. D Book has to be that guy for them. KD's gonna be KD. You know she's gonna get at KD. 26. He had 11 last night, 9 assists, or 11 assists, 9 rebounds, whatever it was. KD's gonna be KD. I think D Book is that young spring chicken who has to come out and assert his will on this season. He's even younger than Kawhi, and Kawhi coming off a few injuries. With PG out, I don't think they have an answer for D-Book. D-Book has to be that guy. And I think maybe getting Cameron Payne back, another young guy, help the Suns. But, man, shout out to the Clippers for that game one. Shout out to Russ, man.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
After
Man,
what he's been through, man,
yeah,
shout
I'm
out to
happy
Russ.
for
Man, I'm glad he's shutting people up. I'm so happy.
I want that all LA matchup so bad, specifically because of him. Because a lot of people who were rooting against him on the Lakers, y'all about to look real foolish, real foolish. I
Man,
seen.
and how about people I don't mean to cut you off, but how about people in the national media that should know better? You talk about basketball heads, man. Like, come on, you talking about Russ Westbrook? Since when? Since when is he a bad basketball player? No, I don't believe that. No.
Yeah. I couldn't get with that at all. Then the people that made it, there was the one, what they called him, a vampire or something. That was trash.
Yeah.